sometimes a crow or a military scientist or vampires bring somebody back to life to set the wrong things right. Fantastic. Morning, everybody. My name is Curtis, and forgot to get ready on the cameras. Now I'm ready. Today is special. I'll put the words. I got to get some better special editing software because I can't really move the text around the way I'd like to, unless I. Anyway, you don't want to know my secrets of editing. We'll do that some other day. What's special about today's show is it's actually the morning. I'm gonna record. I'm gonna make sure everything is actually working while I'm doing the show. Like I said, it's actually the morning. And there we go. So do the show, edit the show, probably upload the show while I'm working because I haven't. It's not time for work yet. It's still like morning, and that's crazy. So morning, everybody. Today I promised we'll talk about some Deadpool, and probably just movies like Deadpool. These are those movies on the timeline that I can see. You guys can't see the things that I am pointing at this whole time. One of these days, when I get my way, I'll take the time and I'll draw every little thing so you can see what I can see. And I'll do it angrily like that because I'm a monster. I'm a monster. All right, before we go Deadpooling, uh, quick story about me and my life. I kind of accidentally told the guy who's like, his company is keeping our company, afloat, that he's, I don't know, the worst and shouldn't do the things that he's doing. Oops. Oops. It happens. I've done it before. I'll do it again. I immediately went to Facebook and said, new rule, everybody. If you're instant messaging me or if you're screen sharing, don't instant message me. I'm going to get us in trouble. I'm just going to get us in trouble. That's the time I'm going to say the thing that the people who you're screen sharing with shouldn't see whatever it is I'm about to see. But I don't know. I've done this with Mike specifically before, and the millionaires that he encounters that try to keep us, funded in some way. Um, but yesterday's adventure was all right. So anyway, I make art for games mostly, and sometimes I art direct or whatever that means. So this one particular job is, hey, these other guys are trying to design stuff and figure out what they're going to do, blah, 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 blah. Do these drawings. Okay, put them here, and everyone can see what's up. Excellent. So within that space where I put the artwork, people can write notes. So the notes go up, and then I read the notes, and they bounce around in my head, and my brain explodes, and my eyes bleed because I have to process them. I can't just, I can't see a road sign and go, who cares, whatever. I have to be like, okay, that means it's going to be slippery. I should I should be cautious of the possible slipperiness. That's why information is out there, is to inform. So I'm not going to just let some pass by and endure whatever dangers that might come up without the information. Without the information, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's just fun to switch cameras. Um, so whatever. These notes a lot of times are just like, I don't know what I'm reading. It's like, hey, say here's a picture of a castle, and then the note is like, oh, this is awesome, I love it. But instead of this, can we have a castle? And then I'm like, I don't. Am I seeing things like when I'm pointing to the imaginary things that I see? Uh, Not that I'm like hallucinating, but it's just like, hey, let's all imagine there's a graph here that's describing the rise in whatever it is I'm talking about, crime. Um, uh, but maybe I do. Like, did I really draw something? Did I just put up? Who know? Did I put up a picture of a condor? Is this a condor to you? Because I'm not sure if it's me or if it's you. But for some reason, people kept keep coming back and then say like, yeah, 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 keep going with that castle, and then do this. And a lot of times we end up actually using the thing that I drew, but then I'm like, what, what's there? Like, what does everybody else see that I don't see? Or do I don't know. I don't know. So whatever. Sometimes these notes come up and I'm just like, I really don't know. I was like, I don't want to fight with this person. I don't know who this person is. Uh, and I don't know. I just don't know. I was like, I just need a little more information. Um, so as I'm like responding to these comments and trying to draw what's in them, like, this is it, right? Like, I drew exactly what you just said. I don't know where the miscommunication is. I'm going to assume it's in my head and then feel bad. So there you go. And uh, wonderful Mike is can see all this, and he's my good friend, and he's the guy who owns the company I work at. That's working for this company, and he's hanging out at that company. And okay, recipes and disasters, and he said, sends an instant message that says, "Oh, hey, don't like just ignore those comments for now, and like I'll sift through them and translate and whatever, and figure out what we're actually gonna do." Uh, so don't let this stuff like break your brain, because clearly it is. I can tell by the way you're responding to these comments, and you're probably going to say something crazy soon, and you're right. But I don't know. I didn't know what yet, and I didn't know right then was what when it was going to be. So I wrote, hey, so and so isn't an art guy, is he? uh and then he wrote, oh no, not at all. Like, oh, okay, like, whew, that makes sense. And I literally wrote well, that makes sense, because his notes are always wrong, and he seems to think I'm inventing things when I'm pretty sure I'm drawing exactly what he's asking for. Dot dot dot. Or he misses his old glasses, or he has vision problems. And then boom, a message comes up that says, I was screen sharing. So I wrote back, of course. Of course you were. Of course you were. And then he wrote back, ROFL. Rolling on the floor, laughing. I have to assume that what that means. I'm pretty sure that's what that means, but maybe it means run out, fired, loser. Like, I don't know. I should have taken some time to think of 100 of those, but just realized now that I was going to tell this story. So I don't know. Today, later this afternoon, I'm probably going to be in a meeting with that guy. I guess I'll have to apologize, and I'm really afraid that my apologies often go, "I'm super sorry that you give me anxiety when you try to have thoughts. Sorry, it's still mostly me, but I'm trying to do something for you, and I feel like based on these notes, we're never going to get there because I'm I'm not good enough with this few words, or I need a quick draw some squares and circles to let me know what you're thinking. Cause I'm just nervous. Just nervous. It's not meant to insult. Mostly it is like, oh, thank God. Like, this does make sense. I don't have to have anxiety. He is just somebody like just spitballing thoughts and ideas, and then the art guys have to come and, remodulate those into things that I can use and the other artists can use to get the art that we need. I understand, like I say this all, I understand the process. I know how things work. I do just get really frustrated when it is like, okay, cool. We got 9 guys designing a dragon. So design that dragon. So there's a dog. I can design you a dragon all day long, no problem. Do you want me to design you a dragon? Yep, yep. And then we'll get the other 9 guys to design dragons, and then whoa, 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 whoa. Do you want me to draw you a dragon, or do you want 9 dragons? Because if you just want the one, I can just do that for you and not feel like I'm in a competition at my day job. All right, and that's fine. Um, so you want to talk about Deadpool? All right, I'm sorry. So the dog feels my anxiety, and he comes, and he tries to make it go away, even though he just poops in the backyard and uh, eats his own poop and throws up on the floor. and never cleans up after himself. Hey, here's a riddle. What do women want? They don't want a guy who shits in the backyard, eats that shit, pukes on the floor, never cleans up after himself. No woman wants that. Let's say like 75% of women love dogs. 90% of all people love dogs. I love this dog and I hate this dog, but I love him. Like, he's the best. But he's clearly the worst. Like, I don't even. How am I supposed to switch cameras now? There's a dog in the camera switching area. Let's see. Still works. You can just bear. Oh no, you can't see him. You're on a different. Editing secrets. So Deadpool is pretty much like just a. It's I want to say a perfect superhero movie. Uh, Using the word perfect just ruins everything though. It's just great from beginning to end. It does all the things, and for the most part, it doesn't treat me like I've never seen a movie before. People were losing their minds. Like, oh my god, it's so like R rated. It's so R rated. It's so graphic. It's so whatever. And from people who, to me, were like, oh, I want to see this war movie, and like, I mean, they cut open a main artery, and that like I believe a lot more spray would come out with that. Come on now. People like that were like, "Oh, I don't know. It was a little more graphic than I cared to see." And I think that it's like, "Oh, you have kids now, and you want to take your kids to the thing that you like, but it's made for you, but you've become stupid now." Sorry, um, kids make things stupid. They just do. Uh, I don't know. I was one. I remember making everything stupid. Hey, parents, you trying to have fun? Guess what? I'm here. It just got a whole lot stupid. Oh, that was that fun adult thing? Nope. I'm here. Hi. Hey, how's it going? Everyone, don't use the words you like. I'm here. Hi. How's it going? Yep. Stupid. And it would have. That's to take the good to take the bad. It's facts of life. It's all good. Um, but with the R-rated movie, well, I also was just like waiting, and then it's like it's over. Like that didn't get too crazy at all. Like Blade was still way more graphic than this, I think, and it is just that where people are like, oh, it's not really, it's not crazy, it's not offensive, it's not so upsetting. The thing that's crazy about these R-rated movies, The Crow, Blade, Blade Two, and the Deadpool. I'm sure there's some others, but who cares? Uh, they don't treat me like I've never seen a movie before. That's why they're great. Avengers, hey, wow, you put a lot of money into making some real cool stuff that I really like to see, but then you spent the rest of the time acting like I've never seen a movie before. I've seen movies, they exist. The same as like, hey, zombie movies and TV shows, act like movies exist and you've heard of zombies before. What's happening? What is this? What is this? Hey, comic book nerd, can you explain this? Well, there's a phenomenon in this one book that I read where sometimes a voodoo priest might bring one person back, but this is unprecedented. What are you talking about? Your movie's taking place in present day. You can't talk about uh I don't know, Eminem references in your movie and then not mention zombies because Eminem's heard of zombies. So there you go. Like, at least mention Rob Zombie. Does Rob Zombie exist in your universe? Where did the zombie part of his name come from? Tell me that, movie characters. So that movie, it doesn't treat me like I'm an idiot and I don't know how a movie works or why there's a story. Just tell me the story. You don't want to tell me why there's a story. There's a story because these characters are alive. I have to assume that when I get there. Don't prove to me that they exist because then I don't believe your movie exists then. If you spend all the time in the world saying, no, 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 I got a giant wiener. Look at the size of my truck. I got a giant wiener. Hey, no, I'm not a racist. And look at the size of my boat. I have a giant wiener. Like, cool. You talk about that a lot, so I'm going to guess you don't. I'm going to assume you don't. Thou doth protest a little, much. Shakespeare. hmm I don't know. Uh, but I don't know. I'll gotta go to a cartoon real quick. I'll go on about this for another few minutes. I saw the trailer for Doctor Strange. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. Trying not to add love to the end, even though I've no idea who that is. I think that's a movie. Um, he's a magic guy. Like, hey, what are we gonna do? Like, the trailer looks awesome. Like, it looks like an amazing movie. I'm pretty excited to actually see it. Again, I don't know a whole lot about Doctor Strange, but I know just enough to know that he's super magic, exists on multiple planes of existence and dimensions, has access to just all the things. Hey, we can do anything. We can do anything. What should we do? What kind of story should we tell? We could like anything we want to do. What should we do with this Doctor Strange movie? Oh, how about like what if he's like a young kid or like a boy and he's like he doesn't quite fit in. He's different, and then he has to figure out how to fit in, and then turns out he fits into something that he never dreamed he would fit into, the realms of multiple existences. And yeah, that's great. It's great. Again, it looks awesome. So you got a magic guy. He's super magic. You could easily explain a story by saying I'm magic, and he's got the already has the Benedict Cumberbatch British truthiness of his voice that's going to be like whatever he says, we're going to believe it. So just make a Doctor Strange movie. Whatever, put the big collars on him, do the whole thing. It'll be amazing. Like this movie will be. But if I get there and you're explaining to me how a story works for 90 minutes and then it's like, "Oh, now I'm Doctor Strange. Here you go, bad guy. See you next time. Just setting you up for movie 3. What about 2? Oh, that's a setup for movie 4. I'll kill you. Shut up, and I hate you. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You gonna introduce Spider-Man? You gonna give me a Spider-Man uh, origin story in the Avengers movie? Probably. Shut up. Let's watch a cartoon. And we're back. All right. Running out of time quick. Gotta get to work for real. And I don't want this file to be too big to upload because got meetings and I need the internet, etc. So, um, before I saw The Crow, it was like, again, this is an R-rated movie. It's I mean, it's from comic books, but even the comic book is very dark and whatever. And I never saw the comic book either. So when I saw the movie, I thought like, oh my god, like this is like, am I gonna get in trouble? Is this like legal? The way people talk about some movies, and then I watched it. I just kept waiting and waiting, and got to the end, and I'm just like, what? That just seemed like a movie with a great story and Ernie Hudson and um what what's going on? Like what are you talking about? They just told me a story. Yeah, there was still a bunch of origin and whatever in it, but they didn't treat me like I didn't understand what that was. And we just did it again. I haven't watched it in a while. Maybe I'll go back and be like, oh man, what were they thinking? But again, all these other movies are just taking from these other old ones that people do love, taking all the stuff that your kids can't see or handle, and then made it very bright and shiny. Yay! Um, Again, not that I'm against that. Fun is fun. It's just that I'm afraid of this, like the people being like, "Oh, so now we'll just make all the superhero movies R-rated." Like, it's not about the R rating. It's not about the being the graphic or the violence or the swearing. It's about acting like things make sense. Example, the most in all the movies. Hey, we're trying to kill you. There's like 12 of us. We all have guns, and we are not going to stop shooting until you're dead. We are trigger happy, and we're out of our minds, and we're on coke, and we're flipping out and we don't know what's what. So we're just shooting, shooting, shooting. And main guy is surrounded. Everybody stop shooting. Let's just wait, see what he does, see if he can do some kind of crazy move to stop all of us, as long as we don't all shoot within the amount of time it takes me to explain why we're not going to shoot this guy. All right, so this movie's over for me. Why isn't he dead? Like, why did you write the movie? You're not like, well, we can't just end the movie like that, right? No, you can't. But you can rewrite it as you write it and go, oh, why would this happen in this movie where these people are so bloodthirsty? And then, of course, the producer's going to add four more guys when you just had the three. So it's like, it was almost believable because it's like, oh, they're sensitive. But it's like, nope, now there's nine. At least one of those people's going to be like, boom, I don't know, whatever. I'm trying to rise up the ranks of this crazy criminal organization here. And I shot. I shot first. I shot first. I'll harm this. Take that, Rito. Um, and I mean, like the crow, and it is like, oh well, these guys can't die or whatever, so of course we can shoot them. But then you have to write something like, why are you writing your movie then, where it's just, oh, he got 1,000 people shot at him and he's alive. All right, then that's what this movie's all about, and I'm fine with that a lot of the time. Just I don't know, make it a part of the story. Like, oh yeah, that guy, every character he has that. By the way, I have magic powers. I don't get shot, even if it's just in that character's head. Fine with that. And then he does get shot. Like, oh, I guess it was just in my head. Just I was just lucky. That's okay. Hudson Hawk, I think, and the last Boy Scout to me was like, do these guys have superpowers? Because I believed it. Because Bruce Willis had that like, no, I'm basically a superhero. Same with like Die Hard. People are trying to do the Die Hard thing, but it's like, no, you're given too much backstory. You're given too much something where it's like, I don't believe that these people are invincible. I believed that Die Hard was invincible and just a regular guy at the same time. You can't make everybody Batman in your movies. Just make Batman. I don't know. Uh, so what Deadpool does and all those guys, yeah, like they keep shooting, and even the Colossus, like whatever the reason I don't really want to see Batman, Superman, and a lot of these movies where it's like, okay, cool, like Transformers, they're just gonna be punching each other for 9 minutes straight. Like, yeah, a good fight is good, but if they can't hurt each other, then it's both of them should realize we have to come up with something else. Like, this just wouldn't happen. This is crazy. And again, in this one, it's like, yeah, we're all a little unbalanced, and Colossus is trying his best. Who knows? Like, yep, this is what should happen. This is also a movie of chaos and destruction, and nothing feels out of place. And most of the characters in the Avengers feel wicked out of place to me. Again, I'll see all the Avengers movies eventually, probably in the theaters a lot of the time, but they're 19 hours too long, and I don't need the whole story of Twilight as told through superheroes and for each character. Like, just whatever. If you want to just you can still focus on Captain America, you can still just focus on Spider-Man. I loved the Civil War books and the comic Civil War, Marvel DC, not Marvel DC, the whatever people who want the mutants and superheroes registered versus the ones that are like, let's just do what we want. All that stuff was fantastic, and it took a lot of books. I feel like this movie is going to talk about a whole lot of other stuff, and I'm going to get real bored real fast. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Deadpool was the greatest. Let's all go back and watch Blade and Blade 2 again. Let's check out The Crow. Like, I know the other ones were a little like, meh. And thankfully, they never ever made a Blade 3, so you don't even have to go looking for it because it doesn't exist. And if you do find anything, I think it's a fan movie, and just forget it. Just forget it. That's not Wesley Snipes. That's not any of those people. I don't know why Patton Oswalt's there. It's not, like I said, it doesn't exist, so don't worry about it. But the Blade duology, that's a good night, from what I recall. I'm real sorry if it's not anymore, but it probably is. Anyway, be good, be careful. Oops. And morning, everybody. Don't forget, click all the things, share this show. I'll try to get my next poetry book done, and maybe we can uh, kickstart it and get some prints done, make it go. And I don't know. Let's see what other projects we can do here together, and see if we can make this my job, and then I can actually have time to make cartoons specific for each show and have a little Deadpool short. That would have been great, wouldn't it? But that's not what we had. All right. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, rain or shine, even if I have to get up before work and get this done. Oh man, I could really use a nap before work right now.
Click on my butt or Ripley's butt to subscribe. Click on my butt. Click on my butt. Click on my butt. Subscribe. Click on my butt. Click on my butt. Click on my butt.